What's up, guys? I'm going to use my 7.5 joule version T4E HDB68. This has been modified. I've removed the valve block, and currently it's wide open. There's no restrictor in this handle, but I just want to recap or see again, because I run so many different launchers, I forget what some of them do in certain certain ways that they're set up. So I'm going to test this valve block removed CO2 restrictor and a 12 gram CO2. I'm going to keep this in here, run it on HPA with my tank adapter and airline, and then I'm going to run the same thing, restrictor, CO2 tank, big airline, MCS tank adapter, and then I'm going to remove this and run the HPA and run the CO2. The CO2 tank's pretty much full. It's probably 80% full, 75% full, and this air tank, it's at about 1500 psi. And I know already that it's not going to perform that well with the restrictor and the air tank, but it performs much better with this restrictor and the CO2 tank. I'm not 100% sure why, but it has something to do with the way CO2 is has more power, more condensed energy. So I'm putting the restrictor in the handle, and I'm going to put a 12 gram CO2 in there, and then I'm going to start shooting. I'm going to be using 7.2 gram alien play aluminum balls, and so yeah, the restrictor's in the handle now, and I'm going to load up a Crossman 12 gram. It's probably like mid 60s degrees Fahrenheit, 65 maybe. It's a little bit windy, so I'm just going to tighten this down and then load it up and get it going. Alright, you guys, alien plays are in here, 16 of them. I don't know if it shoots all 16 with the way this is set up. So CO2 restrictor in the handle, valve block pulled out, 7.5 joule version, and I'm gonna get my chronograph and start shooting. So it's pressurized, not leaking or anything, and I'm just aiming for the box and see what this does. .318, 7.2 gram aluminum ball, 280, 256, 272, 286, 306. So I did spray silicone spray in there, so maybe it's worked its way out. 262. I think I have like 8 more shots. 286. 246. 234. 230. 222. I got 4 more rounds. 214. 192. 178. Got 1 more shot, pretty sure. Yeah, last ball. Out of gas. Didn't want to fire. So I'm going to degas this so it doesn't randomly go off on me. I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, next up is my HPA tank. This is a normal, well, for me, normal HPA tank. It does 800 psi output. I went to Ann's Gear, bought that a while back, almost a year ago now, and it's just a normal HPA paintball tank. The restrictor is still in the handle, and I just want to see what this does. I think the last time I tried this, the speeds are severely hampered. It goes to like 10 joules or something. It's not that good. It's pretty bad. But I just want to double check to see maybe if it was a fluke or something. But there's HPA isn't always the better gas, in my experience. But yeah, if I had 1100 psi output tank, maybe there'd be a difference. But I don't have an 1100 psi output tank, so this is what I'm working with. Just the normal 800 psi output, and yeah, CO2 restrictor, HPA tank. I'm gonna air this up and I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, HPA tank, gas is on. See what this hits. I'm still using 7.2 gram aluminum alien play balls. So here we go. 202. It's pretty trash. 202. I think it's like probably 12 joules. 204. 202. 202. So yeah, I'll just stop after this one because it's not going to go any higher than that. 202. And I want to use this air tank for when I do the next set of rounds. So that was that. Alright, you guys, I removed this HPA pressure is still at about 1500. This tank reads kind of low all the time. But CO2 is still, CO2 restrictor is still in the handle, and I'm going to connect my 20 ounce CO2 tank. I live near this place and I get refills on CO2 over there, and typically when these are full capacity, they're putting out close to 1,000 or like 1,100 psi. If it's warm, it's much higher. Like it can be up to like 1,200 psi on a CO2 tank, because this is CO2, and it's largely, the pressure is not regulated, but it's largely influenced by how full the tank is and the temperature outside, and also I think the elevation of where you are. So this is pressurized now. I turned on the air valve. It's got pressure, so I'm going to put it in my backpack. I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, CO2 tank in here, CO2 restrictor in the handle, and alien play aluminum balls. Same stuff I've been shooting. .294, 282, 278, 276, 272, 272, 270, 270, 270. It's probably going to stay about that. I'm going to switch out everything. Alright, you guys, I've taken this out. I probably won't do a 12 gram CO2 because I've done it in the past, and it usually starts out, so this is fully open, it usually starts out around 38 joules on one of these guys when it's valve block removed, CO2 restrictor out of the handle. First shot's about 38, and then it drops to like 30, and then it goes to like 22, and pretty much like your first 6 shots or where all the power is, and then it's just gone after that. Like maybe you'll get 8 shots out of one of these. So I'm gonna switch back to the HPA tank and shoot this, I don't know, 6 times and see what the HPA does. Right, you guys, HPA tank is attached. 800 psi output, no restrictor, double delete, valve block pulled out, no restrictor in the handle. So this is pretty much stock, aside from removing the valve block, because I haven't changed the firing pin or anything. 404, 406, 404. I'm gonna fix my box. All right. 402. 402. I got 3 more shots. I loaded 7. 398. 400. Last shot. Or that was the last shot. Okay, so I think that's around 53 joules or 50. I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, those 7 or 8 shots took out about 300 psi from this tank. Yeah, so that's a lot of air for 8 shots, because typically one of these you can get about at least 500 shots with a normal paintball gun, which isn't using that much air. So this thing's obviously just chugging the air. So I'm gonna air this up. This is my CO2 tank, and I have 7 alien play rounds in here, and it's still the same, open right here and open right here. Alright, you guys, fully open, double deleted CO2 tank and alien play balls. 418. 414. 414. 410. This thing has a lot more recoil versus when I was using the HPA tank. 410. I have 3 more rounds. 408. 404. Last shot. Or I guess that's it. Okay, I'm gonna degas this. Alright, you guys, that concludes this one. So if I had an 1100 HPA output tank, it may have overtaken the CO2. But yeah, it's just CO2 is not regulated, so if it was like 95 degrees Fahrenheit out here, or like 30 degrees Celsius, it could possibly go higher than 1100 psi, which is higher than whatever HPA tank. If I learned how to rig one of those up that way, it would be higher than that. But there's also the chance that this might not like super high pressure, like 1200 or something, and this could break, or you know, bad stuff can happen. Could blow out the side, or I don't know what would happen. It might even just lock up and like not even want to fire. So yeah, there's just certain things you have to be careful with. I've never known of any of these rupturing or blowing up or something with having too much pressure on them. Most of the time, if I see any videos of people using stuff like higher than 1100 psi, it usually just like won't fire, or it gets jammed up or something. But yeah, that's what this does with a no valve block and no restrictor, and also what it does with no valve block and a restrictor in the handle. And those are the differences between, for me at least, with my 800 psi HPA bottle. That's the differences in speed in those like 4 different setups. So yeah, thanks for checking it out, and see you guys next time.